Welcome back, brave souls and those seeking a fright. Tonight's tale is a chilling journey into the depths of the supernatural. Have you ever felt someone watching you, even when you're completely alone? That's how Daniel's horrifying nightmare started. He had always been a skeptic, a man of logic who brushed aside tales of the paranormal. But all that changed when he decided to move into an old house on the outskirts of a village. The locals had given him strange looks and whispered warnings, but their pleas had fallen on deaf ears. Now, standing in front of the house, Daniel felt a sudden chill despite the summer heat. The paint on the walls was peeling like scabs, and the windows seemed to stare back at him like a dead person's eyes. The front door creaked open on rusty hinges as if inviting him in to share its secrets. With a mix of apprehension and excitement, Daniel stepped inside. The interior was a labyrinth of shadows and dust. As he explored further, he realized he wasn't alone. The air grew thick with a palpable energy, and whispers seemed to dance around him, just beyond his hearing. Each room he entered was filled with relics of a bygone era, each holding its own tale of despair and sorrow. On the first night, the house settled around him, sighing in the darkness. Daniel laughed nervously at the creaking floorboards and the rustling of unseen things in the walls. But as the hours ticked by, the sounds intensified, turning into loud knocks and heavy footsteps. Then he heard whispers echoing through the empty halls. They seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere, teasing him with unintelligible murmurs. He dismissed them as figments of his imagination, the byproduct of a stressful day and an overactive mind. But the next morning, he awoke to find that his bed had been moved, shifted a few inches from its original position. He chalked it up to a dream, a trick of the light. But as days turned into weeks, the occurrences escalated. Doors opened and closed on their own, and the whispers grew louder, forming coherent sentences, though their meaning remained shrouded in mystery. One evening, while exploring the attic, Daniel came across a locked wooden chest. Its presence dominated the room, exuding an aura of menace. Unable to resist the pull of the unknown, he managed to pry it open. Inside, he found a diary, its pages filled with frantic script detailing the previous owner's descent into madness, driven by unseen forces within the house. Then Daniel noticed the mirror hanging opposite the chest. He had barely given it a glance before, but today its ornate frame and antique glass seemed to mock him. As he stared into its depths, he saw not his own reflection, but the shadowy figure of a man with eyes that burned like hot coals. Daniel recoiled, his heart hammering against his ribs. The figure beckoned with a finger, a silent command that sent shivers down his spine. As the days passed, the entity in the mirror became a constant, appearing whenever Daniel least expected it. Its presence grew more menacing, its eyes boring into his soul. Fear gnawed Daniel, yet a morbid curiosity kept him rooted to the spot. He tried to break the mirror, but its surface rippled and reformed, no matter how many times he shattered it. The house seemed to revel in his torment, its whispers growing louder, more insistent. Driven by desperation, Daniel delved into the attic again, determined to uncover the house's secrets. There, amidst cobwebs and decaying furniture, he found an inscription carved into the floorboards. It spoke of a malevolent spirit that resided in the house, feeding on the energy of those who dared to inhabit it. The spirit could be appeased, the inscription said, but the means of doing so were lost to time. Daniel's resolve crumbled under the weight of these revelations. He fled to the mirror, hoping to confront the entity within, but the figure was gone. In its place, a single word was scrawled across the glass: leave. The tremors and whispers intensified, shaking the very foundation of the house. Objects flew through the air, crashing to the ground. Daniel fell to his knees, realizing the futility of his defiance. That night, the house was a maelstrom of chaos. And in the morning, Daniel was gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only his terrified screams echoing in the halls. Some say he managed to break the mirror and free the spirit, while others claim the house simply claimed another victim for its dark collection. What do you think?